hot-button issue that's even reached Broward County, the future of the incinerator in Miami-Dade after a fire destroyed the waste-energy plant in Doral. But one of the new proposed locations is not sitting well with Miramar's mayor. I had the chance to sit down with Mayor Wayne Messam to talk about it. Mayor, thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
So before we get to the topic of trash, I wanted to mention this week the 9/11 Veterans Memorial that was erected here in Miramar. Can you tell us how that came about?
Well, you know, it's a project that was a long time coming. Our police department actually applied to the New York and New Jersey Port Authority to get in line to receive some artifacts from the World Trade Center wreckage. And we were one of a few Florida cities that actually applied and was awarded. So we were actually blessed to be able to be designated as one of the recipients for the I-beams that we've had, and we've had them for over a decade. So when I was first elected, I became aware of these relics by our fire department, and speaking to some of our fire rescue personnel, they said they really would like to have a permanent home for them in a memorial. So we worked on this for several years to find the perfect place that would be fitting for these I-beams and what it symbolized. So we landed on the entrance of Miramar Regional Park.
I want to move on now to trash. I was with Mayor Daniela Levine Cava last week, and we talked about the issue of trash in the county. Some are saying it is close to crisis mode. She says that some of that is alarmist. Do you believe that there is a crisis situation with trash in South Florida?
Well, I think when you compound the issues in Miami-Dade County as well as Broward County, the disposal of trash and refuse in our region is of the utmost importance. We have to find a way to sustainably and to dispose in an environmentally sensitive manner our trash. And when you consider that both counties are struggling for a long-term, comprehensive solution, it should be alarming, and we as leaders must dedicate the appropriate resources, attention, and urgency to solve this issue.
Mayor Daniela Levine Cava has said that she does not want to reopen the Cavanta plant that burned down. So she's looking into other sites. There was a meeting this week, and you were at that meeting, even though it's not in your county. Why did you feel it was important for you to be there?
What was alarming in the mayor's report to the Miami-Dade County Commission, it presented the various locations of where the waste-to-energy plant could be built, as well as their consolidated and comprehensive plan to dispose of garbage. And it gave reference to residential zonings and distances from sensitive environments within Miami-Dade County, but it did not include Miramar. And the preferred site that was recommended in the report is just a mile from Miramar, from the Sunset Lakes community. So because of the proximity of the preferred site, and to not have any consultation, any input, or any consideration from the residents of Miramar, I had to be there to notify the Miami-Dade County Commission that Miramar was not in the report, but we are just as impacted as any community in Miami-Dade County. So that is why I went there to voice our concern in the matter.
And what was the reaction to your concern?
Well, I want to be clear as it relates to the city of Miramar and other residents in Southwest Broward that we recognize that Miami-Dade County has to move forward on a solution. We believe that the preferred site, perhaps the county should make sure it's doing its due diligence to know that you are impacting a neighbor that's just to your north. There are options in Miami-Dade County that would meet the spirit and the objective of the mayor's report as it relates to the relocation of a waste-to-energy plant in a different location.
So the big problem is the proximity to Miramar of where the project could be built. So you talk about alternatives and options. Do you have any options that you can discuss with the mayor?
Well, I think we start with the mayor's report. Obviously, the Cavanta site is an option, but that tends to be a very volatile location in terms of the Doral residents and wanting to that facility not being wanting to be built back at that location. There's a site in Medley that's obviously already permitted for that. I think it's privately owned, but they have a metric, and what the commission has to decide on how long it's going to take to build this facility. How much money is it going to cost? What is going to be the environmental impact to those who are around? And when you think about garbage and garbage disposal regionally, how can we be neighborly to one another and put this in a location? And Broward County is not off the hook, because Broward County is in the same boat. Broward County, we also have to make that decision, and we also would have to cross that bridge in terms of a location if a facility of that nature is in the overall plan.
What do you credit for the growth of Miramar?
Well, Miramar is a wonderful city. I have the awesome honor to be the mayor. I think Miramar's success hinges on its people. It hinges on a very healthy business community that takes advantage of Miramar's locale. We have the Turnpike and I-75 that cuts right between us. We're equidistant from both MIA and Fort Lauderdale International Airport. We're equidistant from both seaports. We have a very diverse community. We have amazing schools, amazing parks, and culture and entertainment continues to grow. You get the best of a quality suburban lifestyle while having the proximity and access to the beaches of Fort Lauderdale, Hollywood, Miami Beach. So we have so much to offer, and our residents are like your brothers and sisters.
Mm-hmm. And finally, I just wanted to ask you your opinion on something, because this is something that you have a unique experience with, because you flirted with the possibility of running for president the last time around. Another mayor in Miami-Dade County, Mayor Francis Suarez, was also considering this run, and he eventually had to drop out. What did you think about that decision of his to go into the national realm in that fashion?
Well, I commend any local leader to think about the challenges that we are all experiencing as local leaders when we look at Washington. And I'm sure that Mayor Suarez saw the same thing that I saw, that Washington can be broken as it relates to the conflicts between the partisan collide, where partisan bickering seems to supersede the need of the average everyday American. And we as mayors, when we think about what we have to do on a daily basis, we can't run and hide behind the veil of partisan bickering, our protection. We have to make sure that our water is clean. Like we just talked about today, we have to ensure that our garbage is disposed. When you call 911, we have to show up and act. So mayors are uniquely positioned. We're closest to the people, and it will be a growing trend where you'll see more mayors that will step up to say that I want to bring a unique type of leadership to Washington, something that has never been done before. And whatever mayor that would be successful in breaking through that ceiling would be able to offer what we experience and what we live through every day.
Speaking of something that has never been done before, you are the first black mayor for the city of Miramar. What's next for you?
Wow, that's a great question. Well, I am very honored to have been recently reelected with 91% of the vote. We have a few more projects we want to get accomplished. One in particular is working with our neighbors to the south to ensure that Miramar remains safe and beautiful without having this risk in our backyard. But, you know, we'll see.
Is Washington in your sights again?
We'll see. You know, you never say never. Obviously, I think we're doing a great job in the city of Miramar. We continue to try to be of influence not only in the city of Miramar, in Broward County, and South Florida, and the state of Florida.
Okay, Mayor, thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me.